Hi guys and welcome. Today I'm going to cook something that I've made only once before, but it's fairly easy and delicious. Okay, and by now I think you know me. When it comes to my meats and grilling and eating, I like a short thing on tenderness and texture and everything, but you use whatever cut you excel at. That means some people know how to make any steak tender. They know this and that. Me, I like my tenderloin for pork. I like my filet mignon for steak and so on. With that said, I'm going to be making pork shish kebabs today. And I'm going to use a pork tenderloin rather than guesstimate or hope that the pork chops, a different cut, come good in this method of cooking. Okay, I like this very tender, and I've had them in the past by myself and others that they're not tender, and that's a shame because this is one of my favorites. Now, let me see, this wasn't too bad. This was $7.19 for a whole tenderloin, okay? It's just Vinny and I, so I consider this dinner for 2 or 3, okay? And you want to get your nicest, look, the nicest, most uniform piece, because we're going to basically slice it lengthwise and then we're going to chunk it to put onto the skewers. Okay, so let me do that. Let me get a bowl out, and then I'm going to show you my easy quick marinade. It's early morning. They're going to go into the refrigerator for the next few hours. It's 11:30 here, so let's start by, let me cut it in half. Okay, that's where I say you figure half per person if you get like 2. So let's see, now we cut it again lengthwise, and now we're going to make chunks. Okay, now we're going to make chunks, and they're going to be about that big. Okay, see, chunks about that big. See, okay, let me proceed. So that's about 2 skewers here. 1, 2. And I made this before with this meat, and it came out excellent because I used the tenderloin. That's my belief. Okay. And now these end pieces, you see maybe slightly longer and such or whatever have you, manipulate them in. So you would take on the skewer. I'll show you when I do that. That's the next step. Let's get them marinated and up and ready to go. And like I said, you're never going to get, this is not expensive for the tenderloin with 2 people. You're never going to get a shish kebab like this anywhere for 2 people at $3.50 each. It's just not going to happen. Oh, we got a little bit of silver skin here. Even pork gets it. I need my knife. See guys, let me show you. Just like on the pork chops, it's that silver skin. This has to come off because it'll prevent that piece of meat from getting tender on the grill or the grill pan that I'm going to use. I'm going to be using a grill pan. Now this also you can make with several, I don't have my fillet knife here. What is that about? Guys, I apologize. I'm so understocked here with my food things that I could do much better. No, I know I don't have the fillet knife here. I know it. I'm going to have to do this and wing it by hand. That's okay. I gotta get it off, and so too will you have to, because like I said, it'll just prevent the meat from getting as tender as we want. And I'm digging in a little bit, but no, it's very forgiving because I tell you right now, pork tenderloin is pork tenderloin. Okay, I left a little meat behind, I'm not gonna lie. There it is, in case you encounter it. Keep it transparent here. You may have to go through that. You lose a little, but you're gonna get a lot in tenderness with that gone. And here's what it looks like with it gone. A little butchered up, but that's okay because we're just looking to make chunks here, right? Okay, and this we're going to have to even out a little bit. We lost a little piece to make that a chunk. That's a big one. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, there we go. There's our chunks. We have a nice bowl. And like I said, I'll probably get 3 shish kebabs out of that. Me and Vinny, 1.5 each, or probably 4. These are the length. I don't know. I think they're 10-inch. I don't know. Smart living, what this do. There's 100 in there. And let me just rinse my hands. You'll see when I put them on the skewers, before we put them on the wood skewers, they have to soak in water for about 30 minutes in cold water. What? Excuse me, my coffee burp, and I apologize. I have to have the mic so you can hear me clearly. They have to go into water and soak so that they don't splinter when you go to eat them. That's the whole thing about when you see people putting the wooden skewers and soaking them in water. It's simply to keep them from splintering when you're eating the meat off it. Some people pull the meat off completely, but you don't want any splinters in it. Okay, now I keep my marinade pretty simple. And I'll show you. Here's the bowl. We're going to put, I don't know, do the olive oil first so the things will stick to it maybe. I'm going to change bowls. I am. So I put a generous amount of olive oil. Whatever oil you want to use. No longer, I'm just going to simply say a good oil. That's up to you. Every household is different. Every budget's different. You use a good oil that you like. We got pepper. Oh, these look good. I can tell you already, guys. I already know. These are going to be scrumptious. I'm making some string beans with them. Okay. I'm giving it more salt here because I know what I'm using, and there's no other salt in the recipe. Or my spices, you know. Garlic, granulated garlic. Just for going forward purposes, I always use granulated onion powder and garlic powder. I don't use the powder per se, actual onion powder or garlic powder. I use granulated. I like the texture of it. I like the strength of the flavor. And I like just those two things. I don't like it powdery like a flour. Okay, and now I have a leftover lime, a leftover lemon. Let's put that on. I'm holding my hand for the seeds, and they're coming out in abundance. Now, don't go too fanatical like I just grabbed myself in thought, because they're tenderloin. They don't need much marination. Marination usually is done to tenderize meats in my experience and understanding. So this isn't a tough meat we're trying to soften. It's already softened, so we have to be careful not to overdo it. So I'm actually not going to use the juice or the lime. I'm going to put a little bit of lemon zest, and let me get out my oregano. That's a very big flavor profile here that I enjoy. Oh, I have it fresh, but I don't want to use the fresh. I got to learn a recipe. Guys, if you know any recipes to use fresh oregano, please put it in the comments for me, please. I have such abundance of it, and I don't know what to put it on. I'm always using dry. I probably could use it here. I bet anywhere you use it dry, you could use it fresh, right? I just haven't. I guess I'm uncomfortable. I don't know. I don't know. And let's put a little bit of oregano. This is very Greek. This is very Greek. And I'll tell you why I decided on this marinade, because I have shared with you guys that when I lived in Astoria, Queens, they call it Little Greece. And there were these carts, just like a New York Manhattan hot dog cart, but older Greek men selling pork shish kebabs when it's supposed to be lamb, but lamb's too expensive, so they made their own out of pork, and they would serve them on the skewer with a piece of bread on top, aluminum foil wrapped, and it was delicious. It was like $1.25, so I'd get 2 of them, and that'd be lunch. You would grab a soda. Delicious. So always had in my mind that they used pork because it was cheaper, and when I started thinking about shish kebabs, I naturally gravitated toward pork, and I don't want the white parts because they know they're dry. And this is why I went to the tenderloin, because it's a no-fail, okay? All right, this is going to go to marinate in the fridge for a couple of hours, and we'll come back and show you when I skewer them, when they're all marinated, and I've soaked the wood skewers, and we get ready to grill. Hi guys, we're back. The pork has been marinating. So here we got our bag. Okay. Now let's pour it out. I let it get room temp. It was cold. It's been in there, oh God, I don't know, 6 hours, 5 hours, whatever. Okay. Like I said, it didn't need to get softened, but we wanted to get flavor filled. So now we also put the skewers in water. That's to keep them from splintering and hurting us. So let's skewer them up and see what we got. Let me see how many pieces we're going to put per skewer, because I wanna see. Oh, I'm making a mess here. I want to see what we wind up with. Don't want to get grease on my other plates. Okay, let's see. So now we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see, 6. It's going to be a good amount. That's a hefty skewer full. Not kidding here. Okay. And it's easy to put them on. If you want, you could put vegetables in between. I'm a purist. I like it the way I told you guys. I saw it in Astoria growing up. I was in my 20s, my first marriage, and they served this by the cart like a hot dog cart. It was very popular dish in Astoria, and it's delicious. But it was served like this. There was no fanciness, no vegetables. Real, how would you say, rustica? Again, with my rustica. Very rustic. They topped it with a piece of bread, which you're going to see. We'll do 2, 3, 4. Well, let me see how many pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, I got 5 left. Let me see. That's 4. There's 5 big ones. Let me take the smallest and put it on here and see. And I'm going to give them a little airspace in between. See, I said it could go for almost 3 to 4 people. This was $7 piece, guys. And this is the premium tenderloin. So I think I did really well. Okay. They're a little bit irregular, but that's okay. You just overcook. You can't hurt this too much because it is the tenderloin. You know what I'm saying? It's very tender, and it shouldn't get dried out and bad, because we have to give extra time because of the bigger pieces. You see what I'm saying? Okay, so look at what we wound up with. Let me just rinse my hands, guys, and we're going to go right to the pan, and we're going to get to grilling and cooking in the pan, and you're going to see. I did it. We were going to do it on the George Foreman, but you know what? It rained today. And not everybody has a George Foreman, so I didn't want to showcase this or share it first time with everyone, assuming that you all have a grill, outdoor cooking space. Me and Vinny spent 10 years or more without any grilling space, right, babe? We were on for our first 1-bedroom apartment. We had a terrace and an electric grill that was horrible. It was nothing like the one we have now. All right, so here we go. The grill's heating. The pan is heating. You're going to hear me make mistakes between grill and pan because we're doing all these videos in both ways. So let's take these over. You want to come in? You could take it off the thing if you want to come close up without pausing. That's okay. They know I do my show realistic. Okay, I got my piña. I'd rather be realistic and, shake the camera while you're taking it off in your hand than to do all of this perfection shit. Oops, excuse me. All right, I don't have my glasses. Let me make sure, because now I have to watch. This is, I don't know if you guys know, this is a Cuisinart grill pan. I like it because look at the size of it. It's square, it's big, it's perfect for this. Look at that. I preheated it. Okay, I'm going to make it higher yet again. Okay, and we're going to cook 4 minutes per side because they're semi-square. Okay, we're going to go 4, 4, 4, and 4. 4 sides. 4 minutes per. I'm going to pause in between because I told you what I'm doing. No need to watch me sit every 4 minutes. I'd bore you to death. Okay, they fit the pan. Let me take this over here. Now I'm happy because I did this last year for you guys, and the video, for some reason, I didn't have sound or something, it got messed up. But I'm happy to say this is working out. Let me clean up. You know I'm fanatical. Oh my God. Okay. And you see the sticks fit in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me lower it just a tad. I'm learning myself. Alexa, set a timer for 4 minutes.
4 minutes, 31.
We're going to do 4, 4, 4, and 4. A total of 16 minutes sounds accurate to me to cook these pork cubes. Okay, guys, they're 4 minutes less than needed. They cooked in 12 minutes. I'm going to take them off now. They're beautiful. Look at them. Beautiful. Okay. Wow. Look at that. That is perfection. I'm going to shut the burner off. Okay. I'm going to bring them over here and show you how we eat them. We're going to have them with lemon wedges to sprinkle on extra lemon. We have our beautiful bread. Let me get my broccoli slaw out that we made earlier today. The video's up there right now as you're watching. Yes, I did make this today for this meal. There's the broccoli slaw. Okay, there's the bread from the freezer. Here's fresh string beans that we're going to enjoy with it. And that's what we're going to have. We are going to feast on these. And this is the way they served them in Astoria. This is what they would do. You would go and order one, and they would top it off with a piece of bread like that. And this would be wrapped in foil, because what they would do is put extra olive oil, lemon, and oregano juice that he had in a bottle. And he'd sprinkle it and then wrap it, skewer it, and serve it to you. It was magnificent, and it's a great memory. And I'm glad I remembered it, because now I can make it at home whenever we want. All right, guys. Bon appetit. Thank you for watching. Remember, stay well, be well, and keep cooking. Alexa, cancel. I'll see you in the next video.